Recently, I went to Poland, and after 2 missed flights and an impromptu train ride, I had arrived in Krakow. So I've made it to Krakow. The most bizarre flight last night. It took like over an hour. This beautiful city in southern Poland is home to 2 of 3 original UNESCO World Heritage Sites in Europe, the historical city center and the Wieliczka salt mines. I was excited to visit these sites, eat some Polish food, some kielbasa, some pierogies, and escape down to the mountains along the Slovakian border. What I was not prepared for was my visit to Auschwitz. I was prepared in the sense that I had booked my tour, but no one can prepare for the heavy emotional experience of Auschwitz. Just a caution to the viewer that some of the information in this video, certain viewers may find disturbing. There is no graphic content, but simply the nature of the history of events that have taken place in Auschwitz could be disturbing. What's up, everybody? This is obviously a very different video than I have ever shared before. When I went to Auschwitz, I had no intent on making a video of this experience. I didn't take any video when I was there, so today's video is all going to be of pictures that I took. Once I got back from Auschwitz and I reflected on my experience, I became more compelled to make a video. And that's because I want to share my perspective and my belief that history serves a very strong purpose. History serves as a tool to learn from our mistakes. That's both individually, personally, and as humanity. I was watching CNN tonight and they had Tova Friedman on. She is a Holocaust survivor who's become TikTok famous with the help of her grandson. And there was a book just written about her, The Daughter of Auschwitz. But they were talking about how people need to understand the history. I saw that tonight and I thought, I have to do it. I have to share my perspective about the history and why it's important. You can read about it in a history book. You can study it in school. You can watch a documentary. But until you're there at Auschwitz and you see the pictures of the people getting off the train, I was sad, I was angry, I was confused, trying to understand how anyone could let this happen, let alone how anyone could plan something like Auschwitz. Auschwitz was the largest concentration camp. It was the quote-unquote final solution that the Nazis had for the Jewish population. So yes, the history is important, and on CNN tonight they showed this statistic that says that 2/3 of young Americans don't know how many Jews died during the Holocaust. 23% believe it was exaggerated. 17% said that neo-Nazi views were acceptable. This is what we're faced with today, is I think with misinformation and just the fact of how information travels quickly, how you can so easily share untrue information. Understanding the history is more important than ever. I'm going to show you videos or pictures of what I took. I'll explain a little bit about what you're looking at. And if you ever get the opportunity to visit Auschwitz or any other place like it, to further your knowledge on the history of what happened, I certainly encourage you to do it. Some of it is very hard to see. There are things in Auschwitz very difficult to see that you're not allowed to take pictures of, rightfully so. And I'm not going to go into all the details, but yeah, I think it's important to still do. And so here are the pictures. Thank you for watching, and when you do the tour of Auschwitz, you will likely tour 2 separate camps. Auschwitz 1, which will have a lot of information. You will go inside buildings and you will see things such as the material proofs proof of crimes, which I'll show in a minute, and then Auschwitz II, or Birkenau, which is this picture, the railroad tracks. It may look familiar if you've seen movies such as Schindler's List that were filmed here. 6 million Jews were killed during the Holocaust. 1.1 million Jews were killed at Auschwitz alone. And what's horrifying to think about is only 400,000 people were registered here, and that's because the other 700,000, when they were brought here by this train, were sent immediately to the gas chambers and immediately killed. 80 people would be crammed inside that train, oftentimes for days if they're coming from distant parts of Europe. They have no access to food, water, no place to use the restroom. And then these are the living quarters. Now these buildings were built by the prisoners, meaning they aren't professionals, they weren't structurally sound. This is the only building that we were able to go inside. The rest are not safe to go inside. The winters here are brutal. There would be snow and ice inside and just terrible living conditions. This is a sort of memorial. This wall is where they would shoot prisoners, and this is right between two residential buildings, so the others would be forced to essentially watch. A map of Auschwitz shows that it's right in the middle of Europe and very purposely planned to bring people from all over Europe to this concentration camp. So here are the material proofs of crimes, and when you walk in this building you'll see things such as here are sunglasses of the prisoners that were immediately discarded. These are like prosthetics and things like that, so people that had any kind of disabilities that weren't able to work were certainly just sent off to the gas chambers. And these are shoes. This was one of the most horrific rooms to go in, I think, just to look at the sheer number of shoes and to think this is only a very small portion of the people that went through this camp. There are other things on display in rooms that you cannot take pictures of, rightfully so. But I mean, all of this is just horrific. You can see the baggage, the luggage with people's names on it. It's awful, but the picture of the end of the train track is almost symbolic. It represents not just the end of the railroad track, but the end of the journey and the end of the life of so many people who were brought here and immediately killed. I hope this video has given you a little glimpse into what Auschwitz is like. And if you ever get the opportunity, it's a sad experience, but a powerful one. And this is the remains of what the Nazis blew up as they were leaving, as the Russians were liberating the camp in 1945.